Hey, ladies and gentlemen, hello there, and we are live. See, yeah, guys, you know what? Everyone is smiling. Steve Machala is smiling, he's with his Newcastle jersey, with that flip back hat down there. He's laughing his own smiles today. Of course, you know what happened today, man.
Oh, we all
See,
know.
and me too. I'm all smiles, I'm seriously all smiles. But Steve, you know what? Today, we are going to start with that crunch march that kick started today. Today ought to be the last match just before the break for the World Cup. So the next round of matches that we played would be by Boxing Day.
Yeah.
December, of course.
Well, for
So this is
Newcastle,
the penultimate
yeah,
matchup to just say, okay, during Christmas, any team that gathers points today will just have a good Christmas, jolly go everywhere and merry,
yeah.
and things like that. But today, Manchester City were stunned today. See, yeah, I know I'll still come down to that Newcastle versus Chelsea match. And of course, we still have to talk about Arsenal today versus
Yeah.
Wolves at the Molineux today. See, Steve, take us through what happened at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City dropping points today. What do you say about that, man? Let's make this as hard as it could get for them. Let's mock them a little bit. What do you say to
Wow. No,
wow.
first thing needs to be said, yeah. The past few weekends of Premier League football haven't just been Premier League football. I'm talking Barclays Premier League
Please, Premier League.
football.
We're back, man.
This is what Barclays Premier League football is all about.
Trust
This
me.
is what it's all about.
It's what it's all about.
That game, Brentford Man City, was a wild one. For a 2-1 game, there could be some boring 2-1s. That was an eventful, intriguing, and very, very scattergun sort of game. The momentum was ebbing. The momentum was ebbing and flowing. And it started off in a fashion that absolutely no one saw, based off of Brentford getting beat by Gillingham, for fuck's sake, a League Two team, and not a League Two team in good form, a bottom two league team. They lost to them in the Carabao Cup with a strong side. So surely when they go to the Etihad, they would not show up in the first 10 minutes playing very good football, creating chances, exposing Man City's weakness, which is their defense, and that has been their Achilles heel in elimination tournaments, and we saw it today in the Premier League. And Brentford, they showed no fear. They showed no fear. And you know what? Those guys never show fear against anyone. They could play against anyone on this earth, and they don't show fear. They are an intelligent side. They have quality. They have guys who play certain roles, and they do it very, very well. And Buemo and Tony are a very, very good strike duo in a league and a modern era of football where a lot of teams don't play with two up top. It's a lot about wingers and stuff. But Brentford play in a way that I admire a lot. And you know what? They deserved the win today. They deserved it because they dug in deep in the trenches. They took their first goal. And yes, they conceded.
The trenches, man.
The trenches. What a phenomenal header! The Ivan Toney header was phenomenal.
Talk to them, Pastor Steve. Talk to them.
The header from Toney was just quality. The service was quality. And you know what? Even though Man City got one back, Brentford were not. You know what? On that final goal, Brentford scored. They could have just dribbled it out for a corner kick or a goal kick or something. They could have just taken the point and been like, you know what? This is still a hell of an achievement. No.
True.
Like I said, the Brentford team don't fear anyone. Yes, sometimes they get battered. Sometimes they lose. That happens. But you know what? Thomas Frank is a man of his, he's a man of principle. And he wants his team to play a certain way, no matter the circumstances. And you have to admire it. And you know what? That approach today bear fruit. And Ivan Toney showed why he is a very, very good striker. And why Brentford are going to be a team in the Premier League for many, many years, because today was a culmination of everything Brentford doing as a club, recruitment side of things, brilliantly. Yeah, and the mentality that the club has, and the mentality, it was a wonderful game. And Man City were good in spells of it, but Brentford had an answer for every question that Manchester City posed.
Totally
Ben Mee was fantastic. Jensen was fantastic. David Raya was very, very good. He's a great goalkeeper, man. There's a reason why he is in the Spanish squad for the World Cup, the big one.
Their defending today was outright. It was top class.
It wasn't lucky. It wasn't lucky either.
That was a carefully crafted win by Brentford FC today, man. They really stung the hell out of Pep Guardiola.
25% possession. They deserved their win.
The defensive 100%. Display today was absolutely amazing. Up top, the way the midfielders were, and wide forwards were down there. See, don't take this as a mistake. Don't get this twisted. Ivan Toney today was also at the defensive area, helping those guys mop up the defensive area. He was having defensive duties today. Yeah. And apart from the defensive duties, up front, it was a total straight-out killer today, man. Top notch from.
He took his chances when they were presented to him, and that's all you can ask of your number 9.
Exactly. Do you think that Gareth Southgate is currently ruining his misses right now with Ivan Toney?
Yes.
Bro, 2 goals. Yes. Any coach that is going to the World Cup and has this situation with Ivan Toney red hot from scoring 2 goals against probably the most biggest team, the Premier League I've ever seen. At least in the last 20 years, right? Good. We can give that to Manchester City.
They're an extremely good
today,
side.
and it stung them today as a B. Do you think Gareth Southgate will be quaking in his boots right now?
I don't know what Gareth Southgate thinks. I really don't. I guess he's confident in who he picked. To be honest, as a Newcastle fan, I'm very happy Callum Wilson got selected. But honestly, we know Harry Kane's going to play every single minute of every single game. Maybe Callum Wilson will get thrown on for a Saka if Saka's tired or something. I don't know. Ultimately, though, Ivan Toney was a man on a mission to prove to Gareth Southgate that he made the wrong choice. And ultimately, when you have those kind of moments, sometimes they play out onto the thing you're trying to call out. Would you be surprised? Would you be surprised if Harry Kane and Callum Wilson get injured and Gareth Southgate has no third striker? He could have been Toney. The guy brought 4 right backs because he can't make up his mind. He can't make up his mind. Imagine England have a penalty. Someone has to take a penalty to get to the next round of the group stage or a quarterfinal, and you could have had an absolute killer in front of net in the form of Ivan Toney. Brought the penalty away like he is closing a door to his house with such ease.
You make that sound real bad, man. You're making it sound real bad.
Bro, Southgate's a questionable manager. I know you think he deserves more accolades. Fine, he did well. But look, all we can say is Gareth Southgate can't go back in time and reselect Toney. It is what it is. But Ivan Toney today proved whether he meant to do it or not that he is England worthy, because it's a big game. You're not favorited. It was just a brilliant performance from Brentford, and Ivan Toney was, he wasn't. And you know what the crazy part is yes, obviously, you could say Ivan Toney's man of the match. Brentford had multiple candidates for man of the match, and that's how you know you have a good team. That's how you know you have a good team. when one individual is not carrying you consistently week in, week out. Everyone on Brentford was tremendous and did their job. Ivan Toney just happened to be the guys who got the goals. I would give him man of the match, but I would entertain other arguments for other players because everyone on that Brentford side did their job. And if one player on Brentford did not do their job, they don't win. It's simple as that. Because that's what you have to do to beat Manchester City, even a Manchester City on their off day, which they were today. They were on an off day. You still need 100% effort and 90% perfection, because you can't ever be 100% perfect. We're humans. But you need to be at an ungodly level to get a win at the Etihad. So, I mean, we've been talking a lot about Brentford because honestly, I think that was the overwhelming story. I don't think
that was the overwhelming story. It's very important for Manchester City to have a performance today. Mind you, in the games against Leicester City, they struggled to score goals.
Yeah.
Steve, me and you will talk about this backstage. You're my very, very big friend. We always talk about these things. See, they struggled to actually get goals 2 games away against Leicester City. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, against there was one other team they struggled to score that I think
Fulham. Fulham last Saturday, they're down to 10 men. And they needed the last minute Holland.
They had to struggle to actually get goals.
And they were down to 10 men on top of that.
Holland to come in. And today, again, it showed that, at the Etihad, Manchester City is struggling to put up goals this season. You see, everyone watching me down here right now, everyone who has joined this stream right now, see, when I went to streams and was telling people, Gunnerish, big ups to you. He just gave us a $5. Nice. Gunnerish Rash, big ups to you, man. See, we're buzzing. See, five gun salute to the top gunner himself here, Gunnerish. He just dropped a $5 on it, man. He's putting his dollars where his mouth is, man. See, this is what it means to be a gunner. See, you know what? Yeah, I'll still take you back to what happened. See, Steve, at the start of the season, I told all these pretenders, that Arsenal was going to win the league this season. They all laughed at me. I told them that Manchester City is going to drop points. You're a witness to all these things when I started telling these guys, all of them. They all laughed. They all scoffed at me. Who's the donkey now? I keep saying this, man. Who's the donkey now? How can you tell me not to dare to believe that Arsenal is in a title challenge this season? Actually, Manchester City is the one to catch us up right now. They've been playing catch up.
And it's been that way for weeks. By the way, it's been that way for weeks. This isn't like you've been chasing. No. Man City have been following in your shadow, trying to keep up. And it's been this way for quite a few weeks now. And we're deep enough into the season where if we pull up the Premier League table, a lot of these clubs are going to stay in and amongst the relative areas that they already occupy. We're not going to see Nottingham Forest shoot up to first place at any point this season, for example. Nottingham Forest are probably going to be around 20th to 15th. No more, no less. No less. And Leicester City.
I agree with you.
Leicester City, they're going to move. They could move 5 up or 5 down. They're not going to go 10 up, 10 down.
True.
Because the table is starting to take form. This is it. Once you get past a third of the way in the season, the table does truly start to make shape. And that's why we can start coming to some sort of conclusion. Exactly, although the season isn't concluded, we can come to even more of a strong idea or a belief. We can actually look at the season and be like, well,
see, man, you are even right to make some kind of conclusions because people this season, conservative, doubters, unbelievers, have already dashed this title to City
3 games in
before it started. So we have the right to actually conclude right now, bro. We have that right because many people have already concluded after 3 games that Manchester City have won this title already. We have the right to talk. I'm sorry, man. You have the right to talk right now. See, okay, let's get deep down into that Manchester City stuff right now before we go into one big game today. Newcastle. See, yeah, guys, I told you people about Newcastle. You ain't laughing now. You
I
ain't
made a
calling them a
video
small
about
team
how I
now.
think we'll make
Look at
top
them.
4.
Look at all of them. They're all ashamed. Where are all the conservatives of the Premier League? Those podcasters, those conservatives that think that Newcastle, oh, no, 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 no. They're not in the conversation. Where are you guys now? These guys just put Chelsea on a spliff, dominated the game. Yeah, it wasn't 2, 3 goals, but they totally dominated this
We didn't
game.
even play
What
at
do
our.
you have to
We
say
didn't.
right now?
We,
See, Steve, we'll
yeah.
go into that Newcastle Chelsea match.
Yeah.
I just want you to just take me through the options of Manchester City right now. Manchester City dropped points today. They're just 2 points away from Newcastle, who will come in red hot. And mind you, Newcastle actually drew with Manchester City. They should have beaten them at St James Park. They just barely scraped that draw, in St James Park. And right now, Newcastle is just 2 points away from teeing up with Manchester City. What do you say to that, bro?
I mean, what are you asking me about?
In
What do
terms
I
of
make?
Man City, because we'll still be going
Well,
into
the
that
thing is with Man
Newcastle Chelsea
City.
game. It's
The
a
thing
big
is
one,
with
isn't it?
yeah. The thing with Man City is that their squad is the best in Europe. There's no doubt about it. So the problem.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no
Steve.
worries.
Big ups to Amy Baba, our Crest member of this channel. Big ups to you, Amy Baba. Is big up, mates. Smile for both teams, and that's true, Amy Baba. Poo, poo, poo. Top gunner. And see, yeah, we also have the biggest member of this channel, my biggest backer. Both him, Emi Baba, Anthony Herbert, Rohan, who is my friend also from the UAE. Of course, he doesn't come to the stream, but he's a member of my channel. Big ups to these guys that make it possible for me to do this. And again, Bhargav is saying here, big up, Tony. Not really well today. Hope you have a good stream. Bhargav, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And also thoughts and prayers to my very, very good friend, Melissa, Miss Melina. Of course, she's down with some illness, and I pray that very, very soon she would get back up.
Yeah.
Melina, we're all praying for you. Wish you
Is it
strength.
something serious? I have no idea about it.
Yeah. But of course, it's something private, of course.
Yeah.
But whatever she's facing,
No,
I
yeah,
pray that
yeah.
she gets back.
Jesus.
To strength. We love you, Melina. And Bhargav, strength to you. Get back up soon, man. And I hope you're buzzing for our win today. We're top of the league at Christmas and hopefully at the turn of the new year. See, Steve, take us through what you were saying, man. Complete what you were saying about Manchester City, where they are right now, 2 points just adrift of Newcastle.
About Man City, like, I don't know if this was an off day or if this is going to be a habit, because there's not the only thing that Man City lack in that entire squad. If you really want to be super picky and pluck any sort of little hole, it's right back and center back. But Guardiola's already invested so much money and right backs in there. If he buys 2 of them in the January, then you've got Akanji being like, what the hell did I do? I've been
what
fine.
did I do? And that's true.
Well, it's just it's a matter of, it's almost like this Red Bull can is completely full, but there's still a problem with it.
There's still a problem with it.
I can't pour any more, otherwise it's just gonna overflow. So what do I need to do? I need to take away some of it. I don't like.
But what's the problem with that? See, I was telling this people at the
start
of the season that Manchester City backline, I don't trust it. They all laughed at me. Now, no one is laughing now. They all see it's a genuine problem right now. They're leaking in goals, they're shipping in goals, they're not playing with harmony. Something is wrong with that Manchester City defense. Can you take us through what you think about that? Are
I
they not
think
in crisis? Is it time to start saying Manchester City backline is in crisis?
the back line, it's always been a problem under Pep Guardiola. And
Yeah.
the chief point I make is look at their UCL elimination record.
True.
6-6 on aggregate.
Big up Boxer Ishaku. Boxer Ishaku. Big ups to you. Craig AFC. We're buzzing again. Welcome to the show. CFC, CFC OG. Shout out to you. Gunnerish. I'm coming down to you, my brother. I'm coming down to you. Amy Baba in the chat. Big up to you. Boxer Ishaku. Andrew Bell, man. Big ups to Andrew Bell, man. You know we love you on this show. Big ups to you. PX Gunner 81. Big ups to you, my brother. You see, we're putting all these teams on split, destroying all of them. You know, all the traditional top 4 teams are all put in a leash at this time. City, Liverpool, they managed to win today. It was a good one. Tottenham Hotspur, not convincing, not such a convincing
another
win.
comeback win, which is unsustainable, by the way.
True, very unsustainable.
It's entirely unsustainable.
Arsenal's on top of the league. Steve, continue. Now, see, you know what? Let's leave Manchester City and all the baggage. They're not going. See, these guys are not going to be a trouble this season. Trust me, because Newcastle is coming. And let's talk about Newcastle
2 points
now.
behind. Man
2
City.
points behind. See, Chelsea went to St. James Park today. To me, I really felt like these guys were going to get pummeled today by Newcastle. For some reason, they escaped it. Almiron wasn't, with his super boots today, but he did create that goal for
what a wonderful goal.
100%. He was in it. He peppered the Chelsea defense today. Newcastle were just all over Chelsea today.
Yeah.
We
didn't even
Their
look.
defense was in a shambles.
Yeah.
Mendy saved them a couple of times today. Their defense was totally in disarray and in constellation. There were no sharp strikers today. From the team sheet of that Chelsea team today, Aubameyang was missing. Poor team. People, trust me, on Twitter, Chelsea fans are on a very, very brutal civil war. It's brewing right now on Twitter. Many of these Chelsea lots, they're already saying Graham Potter out. Can you believe it? See, I told you, these guys, once they capsize, it's just 2 games. Everyone will start changing their mouths. Pep Guardiola is already getting a bit of stick right now with that Manchester City faithfuls. Right now, they're beginning to turn on him. Little by little, they will turn. Trust me, when he loses one of these games, like this that he lost today, if he loses it like 2-3 times, they will turn on him. I know.
Yeah, then it starts to grow a little bit.
Any loyalty. These fans don't have loyalty at all. When you start losing games, they turn on you real quick. Can you take us through that game between Newcastle in St. James Park and Chelsea Football Club today? Steve, run us down with it, man. You have the answers. My brother.
I don't know if you watched it, Tony, but I felt like we were good, but the one thing that did lack today, for the most part, from us was the final ball in the final third. That was the only complaint I really had. Despite that, despite us not playing at our tip top, our complete rhythm and flow in synchron, in full flow, we still won. We still won, and we made Chelsea, like, we immobilized them. Nick Pope had to make one very brilliant save, and that was it. And then towards the end of the game, they added on 7 minutes for no reason. No reason at all. I don't know why it was 7 minutes. I'll never know.
I don't know.
But despite that, we still won. And despite the ref being completely incompetent, giving a lot of things for Chelsea that made no sense at all, really. It was a performance of someone that's worthy of top 4, because what you got to do, if you want to be a top 4 team, you beat your opposition, you beat them at home, and you beat them away. Our record against the top 6 is very good this season. It's very good.
See, Steve, please. Why is it that all these traditionalists, all these podcasters, these conservative podcasters everywhere are all saying that they don't believe in Newcastle? Why?
Um,
Why don't they believe in Newcastle? Why? They
because
don't believe in you guys. They think you
because
guys are still a joke.
because okay, I'll tell you exactly why. And honestly, this goes hand in hand with the Arsenal argument as well. Why people don't take Arsenal seriously at the moment. The reason
Exactly.
why, Tony, it's pretty simple. It's human psychology, my friend.
Mm-hmm,
People are
mm-hmm.
afraid of change.
True.
People are afraid of the status quo changing. People are afraid of what they know as football, or what they know as their home, their job, their friends, the way they do things, the habits they do, the people they meet, the food, the football, whatever. Because people are creatures of habit. We are used to, at this point, we are used to Man City being a top 2 team every single year. We are used to seeing Liverpool for the past, 6 years under Klopp. Battle for the title,
everywhere in Europe.
Yes, and pushing Man City to the very last second, the very last game, to the last point of that. We're used to that, and also doing damage in the Champions League. So when someone new comes around the block and shows off their credentials and shows off why they are a challenge and they are a threat, they get laughed at initially because
they get laughed at. Exactly.
But it makes sense because people are sometimes not open-minded, and sometimes they either live in denialism because they're afraid of the change, or they just personally haven't seen it yet. Some people go about this the mature way. For example, I don't mind if someone says, I don't think Newcastle are ready for top 4, if they give me some logical and good arguments. For example, if they said to me, if Trippier and Guimaraes are out for 3.5 months, are you making top 4? I would say no. Something like that. I would say that's fine. I would agree with you on that. If you're worried about squad depth with us, if you're fine. But if you're saying, well, Newcastle have been shit the past 3 years, that's why you won't do anything. Well, what do you mean? I'm talking about this.
What do you mean?
We're talking about this games. Right, I am not talking about the past 3 years, my friend. I'm talking about right now. We have emerged from the grave. We have emerged from the dead.
Like the Phoenix, of course.
Like the Phoenix. Like the Walking Dead. And people are scared as shit because, yes, people realize that once we got taken over by PIF, that we would be competing for whatever. Name it, and we'll be competing for it within 5 years. People, and Andy just said in the comments, people fear what they don't understand. That's ultimately when the team dominates.
I really understand this, but these guys here, they're very stubborn. All these podcasters
because it's a habit.
They're very stubborn.
That's why some people think Liverpool will still make top 4.
They don't believe in any changes. Liverpool, just look at where they are. Man City is going to be slapped by all these teams this season. Trust me, I've been saying it this season, but no one, gave me a chance. They all laughed at me. But this is what it's going to be, the status quo. Just get ready. By December, your mouth will open. Because I've seen this coming. I've seen this coming already, but no one is ready to accept these changes. Chelsea Football Club put in a spliff today, totally dominated. There are no passes of the ball in that Chelsea team. Their midfield is redundant.
They're not a better team than Newcastle. They are not a better team than Newcastle.
They're over-reliant on Loftus-Cheek, who was useless in the middle of the park.
Reece James is that team's maker. Reece James
make a run at them in the middle of the park without no central defensive midfielder down there. Jorginho, for some reason, looks clueless and a shadow of himself. Aubameyang is not.
Kovacic was too safe. Kovacic was too safe today with his passing. He didn't look incisive or anything. He was a very, very. It was very, very average from Kovacic today.
You know what? We'll still come back to that game. Guys, don't go away because this Arsenal Wolves game is still coming. For criticism. And your analysis also too, Steve. Of course, I'll be coming back to that. But I just want to get to this comment section. Thank you guys for joining us this late. See, we have to talk about this. after this Arsenal win, we have to talk about this. See, Craig AFC 87, shout out to you. I told you, my brother. Craig AFC, I told you Arsenal was going to do something this season. And it says here, I never imagined Arsenal would be top over Christmas at the start of the season and be 5 points clear. See, man, we're at it, right? Craig AFC. Just sit back and enjoy it. Boxai Shaku, our big friend, my brother. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless whatever you do, my brother. And it says here, Brentford won with 25% possession, man. Superb.
They were brilliant.
25 ball possession, and look at the output. Look at what they're bringing out. And we also have Craig AFC 87 here says, I've got this strange feeling Newcastle will win the Carabao Cup and get top 4. I can't lie. See, it's very difficult to convince someone like Craig AFC. I'm not saying Craig AFC is a skeptic
or stubborn.
He's not a stubborn person, but he's a very careful person.
Right.
Before he
doesn't like to jump to conclusions too hesitantly.
He's a very careful person.
Right.
In fact, for him to say this is even a slip. For him to say this comment that is brought up here, it's a slip. He doesn't say things anyhow like this. He means this, man. I've got this strange feeling Newcastle will win the Carabao Cup and get top 4. I can't lie.
We could do, and you know what? If you look at the last 16 of the Carabao Cup, remember there's no Arsenal, no Spurs. One of Liverpool or Man City will get knocked out because they obviously play with each other. Then we got Manchester United, Gillingham, Wolves, Brighton, MK Dons. Like, this is a tournament, realistically, Newcastle could, you know what? If we get Man City at home, I have no fear. Bro, it would be very tricky, especially over 2 legs. Over 2 legs, I think Man City would get the best of us. Maybe by a goal.
I'm even thinking that Man City will throw their next game. You know what? When they come back after Christmas, I really do think that Man City will throw away that game because all these London clubs are all out of it. I don't know. Personally, I think that they purposely throw out all those games. They want to face these games. They don't want anything that will come with this fixture pileup. Manchester City, for some reason, Pep Guardiola has a fetish for this Carabao Cup. For some reason, he always wants to win it. But this season, trust me, he's going to throw that cup away because he's seen what London clubs have done. They've all abandoned that competition. They don't want the pileup. It's a plastic cup. No one wants that Carabao Cup.
No, but
for some reason, Pep Guardiola loves that cup.
But you know, here, I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think the Carabao Cup is important. The thing is, I think there's a lot of value in winning a trophy in February because I want to give you this hypothetical. If Arsenal won if Arsenal won the Carabao Cup in February, do you think that would increase the squad's confidence in winning the title or decrease it?
Oh, it will, man. It will.
Thank you.
So if again, that's if you have the squad depth to actually.
So if Newcastle,
fight it off,
So let's say Newcastle are 3rd, and we are 2 points behind Man City, and let's say 3 points behind Arsenal, and we win the Carabao Cup in February. Wouldn't that increase our squad momentum and uplift?
Definitely.
And the city would be on fire? Not that it already isn't. You know what I'm saying? That is very important. And you know what? Why Pep Guardiola treats the Carabao Cup like that? Because during the season, you do need those uplifts of joy and like rewarding, because the Carabao Cup is strategically in the little bit over the halfway stage of the season. Guess what? Whenever they win a Carabao Cup, they usually win the league. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, because then you could also throw into the equation that Man City have won the league over Liverpool by a few points. So those Carabao Cup, if you dig deep and actually try to find some meaning why Pep Guardiola values that cup so much, it's because it gives the squad an uplifting, even though they've won it again and again. Because the thing with Pep, you always want to be competitive in every single game. the
in every single
mentality,
game.
mentality.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
why I think the Carabao Cup is value. That's
Well,
just
I agree. I agree. Let me read this comment from Gunaresh. Gunaresh is my friend on Instagram and is also a very, very big guy here. You know, he has always supported me, man. Gunaresh, God bless you, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. And keep
I
supporting this
appreciate
channel, man. You know, I only got you guys to help me on this channel. Thanks, man. Big ups to you. And Gunaresh says here, thanks for that $5 super chat, Gunaresh. And he says here, big up, guys. Good win for the Gooners. Odegaard was buzzing it.
He
Edu,
was good
Josh,
today.
pull your finger out and get Tony for January. See, yeah? See, okay. For people who give a super chat like this, we have to talk about your comments, man. See, what do you think about this comment by Gunaresh? Is he
Oh my
drunk or
god.
is he stating
Oh my
facts?
god. If you guys got Tony, if the Cronkies pull the bag out and actually spend more than the alleged 50 million report, if you pull the
Yeah.
bag out and spend 70 on Tony, that's a league title for you, in my opinion.
Bro, man, it's a league
Because you
title.
need someone to get you a lot of goals. I like
We need that.
Jesus a
I
lot.
agree.
You like Jesus a lot, but we both know his
Hmm.
specialty,
Yeah,
not goal scoring.
it's not
When you're
goal scoring.
competing with Man City
Creating
for the
chances.
title. You're competing with Man City for the title, who have a
Yeah.
freak of nature in Holland. So you have to get goals from a number 9. And Ivan Toney would do that. And the best part is, obviously, Jesus can also, he's very, very good, not just as a false 9 sort of guy.
Yeah.
Also play off the right. And then that means
Mhm.
Saka can rest. And that means Saka could play Europa League sometimes and Premier League sometimes.
Sometimes, right?
And
Yeah,
Gabriel can
exactly.
play FA Cup, and Gabriel
Hmm.
can do this. You know what I mean? It gives you options,
Totally
which is what
agree.
Man City
Totally
has.
agree. Totally
So if
agree.
you get Ivan Toney and everything goes, how I think it would go, he would be excellent for
Hmm.
you guys. Score goals, penalties, physical presence up front,
Yeah.
offer something different to Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because you want to have different players with different abilities to
With
suit
different
the
abilities.
situation that you are in
Hmm.
a game. If you need a guy just to kill some clock, get a target man and Tony hold the ball up, draw fouls, foul, free kick, and then that's game when you're 1-0 down in a tough game. Gabriel
Arsenal
Jesus
board.
can do that.
Arsenal board. Are you guys listening to us? Are you guys listening? This is a chance. See, Gunaresh have already summarized it here. This is a chance for us to actually win that title this season. Look at how Manchester City is faltering. It's disgraceful. See, we need to go into that January market, bring in a Modric, bring in a Zaha, bring in a Milinkovic Savic, and an Ivan Tony. It's complete. We've won the title because these guys are just
If
slipping up.
everything works out how it should.
If everything works out how we should. But trust me, man,
Yeah.
this team as it is, it's good. We just need backups.
Add
We
some
just need
quality.
backups. Add some quality. See, you know
Add some
what? Let's
different
go. Of
options.
course, we will still
Like
go
how
back into that.
Yeah.
We'll still go back into this Newcastle Chelsea stuff because
No, we can.
there's
Of course.
there's still a lot of talk into it. But you know what? Let's go into that Wolves and Arsenal match. See, Arsenal needed this win today to go 5 points clear at Christmas. See, Steve, you know the whole story. I don't have to put you in the game. You know
Yeah.
the whole story. At the start of the season, Arsenal have been the most disbelieved, unbelieved, the most criticized club in this league. It's disgraceful. Even part of our fan base don't think we'll win anything this season. Part of our fan base, they hate us. They don't want us to win this league title. In fact, they hate this club to the extent that they scoff at us even being first right now. They don't think that we mean anything. They don't think we're in a title challenge. They don't care about this manager. They don't like the manager. They don't like anything about what we're doing now. They think it's all a charade. They think we're just joking. In fact, they think that Manchester City will just come back and bamboozle us.
Which they
and
could.
Arsenal is just
They
going to
could.
lose.
Man City are that good.
I
It
understand,
is possible.
but man,
Yeah, I know
why
what you mean,
can't
though.
you believe in a team?
Right.
How can you not believe in a team that have broken a record of 136 years in the making. How can you not believe a club that has gotten to this stage and have never, ever, like seriously, Steve, never, ever has anyone gotten and raked up this point at the start of a league title or at the start of a league title reign and actually lose the title?
I think
no one has ever done that. No one has done that. See, no one. Why did this believe? Arsenal have had the biggest start to a season that actually trumps the invincible season. This statistics doesn't mean anything to all these guys. That disbelievers, they don't care. They don't believe about these things. Steve, can you take us through that Wolves game and tell us, do you believe that Arsenal, they have a shout for that title this season?
No, I think you guys will win it. But I will, and I say this every time when I talk about Arsenal and their title chances, and it applies to Newcastle as well. I will say that. Maybe not to as quite an extent, just because we don't have to deal with Europe and you do, and you theoretically will make a deep European run. So that means you need to add a lot more to the squad. What I'm going to say about it is I think they will win it, but yeah, like I said, you need signings in January 100%, like an Ivan Toney or Vlahovic or whoever. But anyways, with this Arsenal-Wolves game, not going to lie, like Wolves were posing some dangerous moments in the first half. Pedro Neto shot it over the bar, but then I feel like Arsenal responded very well. I think Arsenal teams of the past would have lost that game or drawn because they would have felt the pressure that Wolves were trying to put on them and impose on them. And they might have gotten scared and might have been like, hey, we need to go back and defend. We can't go and attack. They said, fuck it.
See, we have big wigs. We have big wigs in the chat. We'll come back to that. See, man, there's a lot to talk about. We have hours. Me and you, we don't like to sleep. We have to talk about this. See, we have Manny in the house. Manny Tangadarai, is one of the podcasters that come here. I've had big respect for Manny Tangadarai. And in this industry, in this niche, people respect Manny Tangadarai. He's a big guy. He comes down here to chop it up with me sometimes. Of course, people have been asking about him coming here. Of course, Manny has been very, very busy. But I'm thinking of bringing him down to the show on Monday with us, Steve. I want him to come on Monday, and and probably maybe one day during the week. Next week, because me and Manny, we have to really talk about the season so far. He's a big friend of this channel. He's a big friend of ours. He's in the chat and he says congratulations. In fact, let me pull up that chat right here. Big ups to you, Manny Tangadarai. He says, congratulations to both Arsenal and Newcastle. And I'm so happy for Joe Willock for that goal. Big ups to you, man. We love you at this show, man. We love you. Great, he's a great commentator. We love him very, very well down here. Very respected in this niche. He loves Arsenal Football Club. He's a bit critical, but of course, it's critical in terms of is it constructive?
Just like how a father loves his son, and he'll tell him when he's screwed up.
It's very, very needed, mostly when you support Arsenal Football Club. So, of course, we love you, Manny. Alfie, there's this guy here. Alfie Brindy is also with us. Andrew Bell is also with us. Yeah. Alfie Brindle, thank you, man, for joining us. We love you, man. Other people are here too. BX Gunner 81, big ups to you, my brother. The Assemble, Chops. Thank you, man. Thanks for coming to the show. Alfie Brindle too. Thanks for coming to the show. Look at AFC, my big brother too. Look at AFC, guys. It came here on Friday. If you haven't watched that show, please go and watch that show. It was the preview show to the Wolves Arsenal game. Look, a big friend to this channel. I'm a big friend to his channel to go support him. Also, the Other Time podcast with arts too. Steve, I'm sorry, man. I have to shout out these people. It's very, very late for them to come around. I have to give them props. The Other Time podcast is a big friend of mine, Johnny Boy, JPT, Poo is a Chelsea fan, but you know he loves this show. I love his show too.
Chelsea fan.
You know, and many content will be coming out from me and JPT very very soon, at least after the World Cup. Big ups to you. Say Steve, here's Newcastle's flowers. It gives you flowers actually. And here we also have Sebastian. Sebastian is a new subscriber. I don't know him, but he must be a friend of yours.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And he says Steve. He says Steve. And of course, we have this guy. What can I do without this big man here, Mr. B for life? Big ups to you,
Super Ivan Toney.
He likes Ivan Toney, man. Man, Mr. B, we have to get Ivan Toney. I'm sorry, man. Big ups to you, man. Mr. B for life is a very, very his commentary on football is top notch. We really do like Mr. B on this show, man. Big ups to you.
I see him around on a few other channels. Big up.
He knows football. Mr. B for life, he knows.
He's got a nice club. Nice club. Very nice club,
right? But of course, we have to snatch Ivan Toney from him, man. He's gonna be pissed. But of course,
but they'll find a replacement. The thing with Brentford, if I must add this real quick, you know what's crazy? Yeah. Brentford replaced Neil Maupay all those years ago with Ollie Watkins. Mm-hmm. Ollie Watkins then was sold on, and Maupay was sold on, and they replaced him with Ivan Toney. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they'll be able to find another striker that can do something that Ivan Toney has. They're better at replacing strikers than Chelsea are. That's a fact.
It's a fact.
Even if they played in a lower division for those years.
With all these players they've all gotten, Maupay, Watkins,
and then
Ivan Toney. Man, they have a good
not too bad
system and recruitment system, even better than Chelsea Football Club. Because all the strikers have left for big money.
They replace them with cheap options, and then the cycle continues.
Just look at what that guy did today.
Brilliant.
To Manchester City, so big ups to you, Mr. B for life. Let's read what he says here. He says, big up man like Tony, the total real one. Bet you're happy, brother. Man, Mr. B for life, what do you think? I've been telling this people that Arsenal is going to win the title this season. We've not won it yet. There's still more fish to fry. But man, we're at it, man. We're at it. And of course, watch out for Newcastle. That's a big revelation this season. And it says, big up man like Tony, the total real one. Bet you're happy, brother. I see your 5 points clear at the top. Some of that is thanks to us Super Bees. Yeah, man. Shout out. See, man, Brentford, I give you your flowers. Mr. B for life, I give you your flowers, man.
Big up, Brentford.
Thanks for giving us that win today. We really needed it to shut this Manchester City talkers up today. And of course, he says, and in particular, Super Ivan Toney, who should be at the World Cup. See, you know what? We still have to get back to this Ivan Toney World Cup stuff. See, Steve, get us back into that Wolves Arsenal match and tell us what happened. What do you think?
I thought, honestly, our games were somewhat similar. The only difference to me was that Wolves actually looked a threat on goal sometimes. Chelsea did not. But what was very similar with both of our games, in the second half, we emerged as the stronger side, and we got in your case, 2 goals, and we got our goal to get the deserved victory over the line. And thought you guys battled through adversity. I thought Partey, Şaka, everyone stepped up when the chips were down. Because it was a tough first half, you think, right? It was a tough first half.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was one of those games that's just going to send us to the dry cleaners,
A bit unlucky, too, because you hit the bar with Jesus near the end of the first half, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't let that take over your mentality and turn it into a negative. You came out the second half strong, and I thought that Wolves they got into their shell because they a man can smell an alpha when there's an alpha around, and Arsenal acted like the alphas. They were the dominant ones. They played a lot better, and it another one of those wins. It wasn't super glamorous in the first half, but second half you put on a good show. And Odegaard, who I'm not the huge fan of, he's a good player, but you know what? Today, that's what I want to see out of Odegaard, man. That's what I want to see out of Odegaard. More involved in the play, scoring goals too. Very important. So, I mean, just a good performance all around from Arsenal. I don't know. What do you think, Tony? What'd you make of it?
Man, see. You know what? We went into that match today knowing that we need that precious win. We've already seen what
Especially with
already
the gift that Brentford
exactly
gave.
that Brentford gave to us today.
The
See,
completely unexpected one.
a
No
very
one.
unexpected one. And
Yeah. An
see,
early
there's this very,
Christmas
very
present.
important comment here by Mr. B for Life. Of course, he's a Brentford supporter, but he loves football. That's why it's here. That's why it's in many other channels. A big ups to you, Mr. B for Life. Look at what he said here. We didn't give Haaland a sniff.
Huh?
We are the first team in the
Not
Premiership
easy.
that he hasn't had a shot against.
Unreal. That's unreal. What a
Man,
stat.
you know what? I never actually thought about
Fucking
that,
hell
man.
of a stat.
It's true,
Wow.
man. He never had a shot on goal today. No, can you believe it, Steve?
I don't
Steve,
remember a shot on goal. That's fucking mental.
he never had a shot on goal today. Man,
Mental.
that's true, man. Man,
Mental.
Mr. B for Life, thanks for giving us that.
That's crazy. So if teams
Oh my
can
God,
copy,
it's true.
so Brent, and you know what? That's why also today is very significant day
It's a
because
historic
Brentford
day.
have laid
Feel
out
like that.
Brentford have laid out a blueprint, and we also did when we drew with them 3-3. The blueprint is defend with your lives on the line. You might concede a goal, but that's just because Man City, they will find a way to score a goal. You have to be completely lights out if you want to shut them out. But what you have to do against Man City, you have to dig in and you have to show that you're not scared. Because if you are scared, that's when Haaland, and that's when those Man City players, they're like a pack of wolves. They smell blood.
True. They
and they will pounce.
They smell blood.
And they'll eventually score on you if you're scared. They will.
True.
Just like I said, you can smell an alpha. Dogs, big dogs, they can smell an alpha a mile away.
They could smell it. See, I'll allow you to answer this question from our big friend, Alfie Brindle. Yeah. Alfie Brindle, poo. Big ups to you, Alfie Brindle, my brother. You're welcome to the show, Alfie Brindle. You know we love you, man. You support me down there on Instagram. You support me down here. Big ups to you, man. Before we come into Andrew Bell. Andrew Bell is a Newcastle fan. It's a big boy, a friend of Steve's. And of course, we do love Andrew Bell on this show. God bless you. God bless your family. See, Alfred Brindo asks you this question. He says, hey, Steve, is there a big Newcastle following in America? What do you say to that, Steve?
It's not at the level of the top 6, but it is pretty decent, I'd say. I think maybe behind Everton, just because there are a lot of Irish people, especially in the Boston, New England area that I'm in. There are a lot of Irish people, and obviously Ireland, Liverpool. So there's a large Everton following. Villa, Villa actually decent. We're in the top 10 most supported in the nation, I would say. Newcastle. Okay. I would say top 6. I don't know the order. I'd assume Man United is first, but whatever. And then I'd say outside of top 6, it'd probably be Everton. I'd say maybe a Newcastle, maybe West Ham have a big following. That makes sense, right? Fulham as well, because of the American influence also at Fulham when Clint Dempsey was back in the day. That got fans on board, and then we have Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson at Fulham. So they're still Americans. There's a decent
there's a decent American following in the Premiership. See, Andrew Bell says something here, man. See, we're on no grind time. We can't talk about anything right now because we've touched Chelsea, Newcastle, we've touched Arsenal. See, man, we've touched Man City and their flip-flop today. See, it's all our open wing top play today, right now, man. It's me and Steve on board today. We're captaining the ship together. See, Andrew Bell says something here. He says, great goal from Willock. Found goal-scoring form at the right time. What do you say to that, man? Joe Willock, former Arsenal player. We just gifted Newcastle this
sniper.
It's pumping goals from all cylinders, helping the play. What do you say to that, Joe
Willock? That's the thing today? I've never...
Thunderbolt.
Oh, great goal. I mean, honestly, Tony, that is his greatest attribute. He has the finishing instincts and the power in his shot, the technique. He has the finishing and striking skills and technique of a striker.
That's a killer's goal.
He just needs to. Goal. No, it was a great. Oh, absolutely. It was tremendous. It was
It's a
unsavable.
killer's goal. It
Unsavable.
was a killer today,
Unsavable.
man. Oof.
Unsavable.
Oof.
And that's the thing with Willock. I've never
goal.
questioned his ability and his ability. He has an eye for goal, absolutely. It's all about with Willock, right place, right time, the positioning. And if Miguel Almiron can improve tremendously, if Joe Linton can improve tremendously, if all these other guys can improve tremendously, even to some extent like Jacob Murphy and Longstaff, they can improve decently. They might not be Champions League quality. They aren't, quite frankly, but they're doing well at the moment. If those guys can step up their game, then Willock, Willock will experience a resurgence under Eddie Howe. No doubt about it.
Bro, forget this resurgence. You guys are going for the title. See, it looks
2
like
points behind Man
fever.
City, more than a third of the way in the season.
See, Steve, you're being too careful. And I don't want you see, you have the right to shout because all these conservatives have given the title to Manchester City this season. Already, they've concluded it. Already. In as early as the third, fourth game, all these podcasters, all these pundits have already dashed, this title to Manchester City. They don't believe in you. They don't look at you as a team. In fact, they scoff at you. They're laughing at you right now. They think you're not even in that conversation. So see, it's okay for you to have a goal. It's okay.
But you know what, Tony? What I'm gonna say,
man.
You know what?
Are legitimate title chases right now.
You know what I'm gonna say?
The equation.
You know what I'm gonna say to that, Tony? You know what I'm gonna say to that? Would you rather know? Would you rather know that there's a murderer in your house, or would you rather not know? Would you rather know and take Newcastle seriously, or ignore them that they potentially come out of nowhere and just go sick?
It's true, man.
It's true.
It's true.
Would you rather know? Would you rather know about the threat or ignore it?
Guys, to all you disbelievers out there, Newcastle is just 2 points away from Manchester City.
And we're a third of the way in the season. So that means something. How
do you argue that?
It might not mean we are the best team on planet Earth, but it does mean something.
It means something. They have to recognize this threat. Because why I'm all up on Newcastle's ass is because these people don't even believe in Arsenal.
It's the same scenario, bro. It's because us and the top. It's because Newcastle and Arsenal. We haven't made. I wonder what the last time Newcastle and Arsenal both were in the top 4 of England in the Premier League. It's probably been a while since Newcastle and Arsenal made the top 4 in the same year. It's probably been quite a while.
Man, I totally understand that area of.
And again, like I talked about earlier, bro, it's human psychology.
Man,
people are scared to change.
Teams after 15 games this season with a game in hand. Arsenal still have a game in hand with Manchester City.
Yeah.
Trust me, man.
Head to head.
Head to head, bro.
Pointer.
Pointer. I'm telling you, man, if we go into that game and for some reason, if the bees that Arsenal beat up in the first half, see, it wasn't even a contest. It was in the first half of the game, we beat up Brentford at their home. Not even like what Man City have in Etihad. This was in Brentford's home. Actually, Arsenal went down there, beat them up 3-0. We beat them up so bad.
With relative ease.
They couldn't even come out for the second half. That's how much we beat them up in the first half. 3-0. They were in no contest for us. And then Manchester City is, struggling with these guys today. And these guys beat them up today. Like, see, man, these are things that only happen in dream magic books. like tales.
You know
like
what I think?
Tales.
You know what I think about this Man City Brentford game? I think this is a make or break moment for Pep Guardiola. I think if they don't learn their lessons from today, then they will repeat them throughout the year and you'll win. Or it could have the opposite effect. This could wake up another beast in Man City, and then they go on to dominate. I think it goes one of those two ways.
True.
Where this is basically this is either a deflated balloon or an inflated one. Which way are you going? It's not going to go in the middle. It's not going to go in the middle. It's going to go. It's either going to kill the confidence of the team, or it's going to wake up a scary beast.
Exactly. Andrew Bell says here, the first statement he made here, he said, "I've always said if Wheeler can just create a space within 20 yards, he will get it." Of course.
He's a sniper, bro.
He's a sniper. He's that kind of a player. He's a killer. With 20 yards, Willock is a threat to any team.
Yeah.
See, we've not even talked about his pace. He has that in his wheelhouse.
Decent dribbler too. He'll take on guys and
exactly, lots of it. And this is the problem I'm having with Arsenal fans. We're too quick to push out these players. Very quick. We don't want to give them an opportunity. Look at Fabio Vieira. He's struggling with his size in the Premiership. It's his first time in the Premiership. Everyone are saying, "Oh, he's not good enough. He's this. He's not."
People don't know if he's good enough.
Look at Willock enjoying his game in Newcastle. Now, you guys want us to just bring these players, push them out without developing them. Nothing. You don't want to have faith in all these players. Look at Kevin De Bruyne when he was at Chelsea.
We shoved out Ivan Toney arguably too early.
Of course.
At Newcastle under Rafa Benitez, we shoved out Ivan Toney. Some people thought he should have stayed a little longer.
You shoved him out. And now look at, he's a killer. Do you think he would actually come to Newcastle after you guys rejected him? I don't think so. Unless money talks. Of course, money talks.
I'm a firm believer in what happened in the past will go in the past. Like, Ivan Toney's a very, very good striker, but he was here at Newcastle, but we don't need to. Let's move. It's like an X. We're done. It's all good. I don't have anything against you, but let's just move on our separate ways.
Yeah,
it didn't work out the first time.
One of our biggest, man. This guy has been a very, very. This guy just commented here. Is one of our biggest followers, man. He has really supported me, man. BX Gunner 81. He's an American also, man. Steve, you should hook up with this guy, man. Great guy. BX Gunner. This guy is a gunner true and true. He has an Arsenal shrine at his home. I've actually seen him. Lots of old JVC jerseys. This guy is a top gunner. Poo. BX Gunner, we love you, man. Thanks for always supporting me on my channel. When every other person is, out there, you come down here. Even if you go to other shows, you always show me love, man. God bless you. God bless your family. I know you have a very, very great daughter too. God bless her too, because I've seen some posts about her. God bless her and God guide her to grow well. He also says something here. Arsenal are doing better in real life compared to my FIFA career mode. That's a first. What do you say to that, man?
Crazy.
Big ups to you.
You guys are doing, bro. You guys, us. I mean, to be fair, us and Arsenal, we're putting up video game numbers that people just didn't see happening. It really is remarkable. I think what's very important during this long World Cup break, the managers just need to, and I believe both of our managers will do this, just need to sit down, take it all in, and not get too excited.
Yeah.
Be at a happy medium mentally in terms of what they say to the players and how they're dealing with it in their heads. Because this is uncharted territory for both of our managers. Mikel Arteta as a head manager of a club.
Steve, please. I'm sorry, you'll continue. Please, guys, go and join my channel. Not just subscribe, but become a member of this channel, man. Become a member, man. Because one day I have to start paying Steve. I need you guys to help. I need to buy him a bottle of beer. He likes beer. He likes his vapes. I need to get something for him too. Go and become a member of this channel. You know,
Or you can
the
get me
first
drunk and buzzed. Yeah.
exactly,
Sure.
man. Because you need to be buzzed a little bit. Come on, man. It's just €1, 99 cents. To become a member of this channel. Go there and become a channel member, man. Mr. B for life, go and become a member. Come on, go and join it. Andrew Bell, go and become a member. Sebastian, go and become a member. BX Gunner
I will when
81.
I get paid, Tony, by the way. I will.
Oh, please, man,
I
go
will.
become a member, man. Alfie Brindle, go and become a member of this channel. You know, Mr. B for life, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for you to become a member of my channel. Go and do it right now. Yeah, Steve, continue. You were saying something.
What was I saying? Fucking hell. Oh yeah, our managers in terms of what I think they should do during. So, oh yes, I was talking about how both of our managers are in uncharted territory for what they now. The only thing I'll say is that okay, Eddie Howe has won the championship with Bournemouth, but so he does have some experience, albeit not Premier League experience. It's you know what I'm saying. Eddie Howe has never been in a position with the pressure of being at a huge club in Newcastle and huge stakes on the line, like qualifying for possibly a Champions League ahead of schedule. And Mikel Arteta also has not been involved in a title race with a club before. So this is also, we have to keep in mind, this is new to them. This isn't new to the likes of Pep Guardiola. He does this. He's been doing this for Man City, Bayern, Barca, winning league titles. He could do it with his eyes closed and hands tied behind his back. So he's not going to be, he might overthink some things, but he knows the drill. What Eddie Howe and Arteta, and I always think this is very important for any team, any sport, it could be a UFC fighter or it could be a golfer, it could be a football team, basketball. Just take it game by game. Win the game you have, and then move on to the next. Win the game you have, move on to the next. And that's what Eddie Howe and Arteta have to do. It's good to be excited. It's awesome. The fans are obviously going to give you that amazing adrenaline rush and amazing feeling that you are in the situation and you want to keep that good feeling going. So what you got to tell your players is, let's just take this game by game because we can't get carried away with our own hype, but it's also a balancing act like life. Life is a balancing act. You don't want to count yourselves out, but you don't want to say we are the finished article only 15 games in, because that's how Arteta and Eddie Howe should be looking at this.
Good. You know what? Let's get into that Liverpool game. Of course, this is the post-game show. See, Liverpool winning today, 3-1. What do you say about that Liverpool game? Are Liverpool back? Do you think they're going to walk their way into that top 4? What do you think?
No, I don't think they're necessarily back yet. They're under a little bit of
this is 2 wins at a trot. Beating Tottenham Hotspurs a week ago, and this week
everyone
orchestrating a 3-1 win against Southampton today.
No, it was good for Liverpool. I didn't watch that game. I watched the Tottenham one, but I mean, big win for Liverpool. I mean, you got to go into the break with some confidence.
It's a big win, 22 points
that's
at the trot.
That's big for them. Go into the break feeling happy and whatnot. And same thing applies for Klopp. Just take it game by game, and you'll see where it goes. If you keep winning, then that means the other team above you.
Nunes bagged a double today. Nunes, a big one. Nunes have increased his tally of goals from 7, which he was at 7, to a whooping 9 goals this season.
Good player.
In the Premiership.
People were silly.
People
were so silly to write him off so early. And again, that falls in line with what we were talking about. What we were talking about in terms of human psychology and the status quo and the fear of the unknown and the fear of change and the fear of something new that they don't understand. That's Darwin Núñez.
True.
It's his first season in the Premier League. So people have doubts. You know what I mean?
See, Steve.
Yeah.
See, Steve. Liverpool is 6 points away from top 4.
It felt like a week. It felt like yesterday that they were like 12.
They were like 12, crazy. Fighting relegation battle.
Crazy how right now, so quick.
Liverpool. Just listen. Liverpool is 6 points away from top 4. So if Tottenham Hotspurs keep keep
Keep
losing
screwing up.
everywhere, keep screwing up
Keep
time by
conceding the
time,
first
week
goal.
by week, Liverpool actually have a shot to come back to that top four area, and I think they might do it. What do you think?
Speaking about Spurs, you want to know something funny, Tony? I just
No,
looked at
no, we'll
Liverpool.
get to
Sorry.
sports. Sports is
Oh yeah.
shit, but of sports is shit. That's the truth, the fact. They're shit. They don't win any trophies. I don't like Tottenham Hotspurs. I don't harbor hate for them, but I don't like Tottenham Hotspurs. But of course, we do talk about them. But Liverpool
No, Liverpool.
getting to sixth. Man, these guys were there
Progress.
fighting a relegation battle 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Kind
People
of.
wrote them off, and
Yeah.
right now they're in sixth position.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
I mean it's a good win for them, and I think maybe that could be the start of something consistent. I mean, the injuries and you know what, for them also to make top four, in my opinion, they need to do something with that midfield because you can't rely on those old guys. It's just not gonna work. Eventually, the battery runs out of juice in terms of these older players. You can only use them for so long. We're all humans at the end of the day. When you get older, your performance level and your athleticism, your endurance, your ability, it drops. Your intelligence, your reading of the game might be great, but just because something is clicking in your brain doesn't mean it will translate to your feet or your stamina.
True.
So that's the thing with Liverpool. They need to bring in some midfielders, and if guys come back healthy for them, cool. We'll see.
But again, you cannot deny it. They're in sixth position. They're in 22 points, and mind you, they've only played 14 games. If they play one more game, of which they still have one game in hand, because everyone have played 15 games in some. Not everyone, but some people have played 15 games.
Brighton could overtake.
If they play their game in hand, that will be 25 points, and 25 points will secure them at least. They would be 4 points away from Tottenham Hotspurs.
And it would depend on what Man United do to Fulham tomorrow. And I think Fulham win that game, actually, or at least drop points. No, I think so.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Bro, keep in mind this Fulham team are ninth.
Yeah,
2 points behind Chelsea. I know Chelsea have been shit, but Fulham look like a team that will survive. I think they will. And recently at home, you've got a 0-0 draw with Everton. All right, that wasn't great. Demolished Aston Villa, Gerrard's last game, and then 2-2 draw. So, it's a bit up and down at home, but to be honest, when Man United go away from home, they don't look very good, and they're inconsistent.
They're in shambles. Their defense seems to stop defending.
And also, Anthony.
Mr. B for Life says here, Captain Odegaard actually showed up today. Should be recorded for posterity. Man, I think so too. Jimmy Somerville was great today for Leeds. Shame they lost in the end. We have to talk about Somerville scoring back-to-back in 4 to 5 games consecutively in the Premiership. That's almost a record.
Another day, another crazy Leeds game. Another day, another crazy Leeds game.
Okay, see, Tottenham Hotspurs, Leeds. Can you take us through that game? What do you think about it?
I watched that game, and
how was it?
Fuck, Leeds defensively, they're the worst defensive team in the whole division.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry.
Shocking defenders.
The center backs that poor Jesse Marsh has to work with, they're championship quality. They really are. And they have to go into these games. They have to score 4 goals to fucking win. Like, that is unsustainable. And if Leeds don't address the center backs in January, they'll get relegated because they can't win every game. 3-2, 4-3, 5-4.
It doesn't matter the attack. That's why I give Arsenal and Newcastle lots of credit this season.
Clean
It
sheets.
doesn't it doesn't matter the kind of attack you have. If you have crappy defenders down there, you are going to be in a relegation battle. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the kind of attack you have. Listen, I'll just put it through the game. See, Leeds United have Rodrigo, a decent striker, by all means.
False nine, sort of, yeah.
Somerville has been scoring time and time again for up to 5 games all through.
Brendan Aronson
this season, it's almost historical. Yeah. See, they have a Gnotto, they have a Rocker at the middle of the park, Adama. See, they have all these people, and mind you, they also have this guy, I think is an American. What's his name?
Brendan Aronson.
Exactly.
The attacking
they also
midfielder.
have Bamford.
Kid with curly hair, yeah.
They also have Bamford. Also, if you remember Bamford,
they don't struggle offensively when that front four today.
They
were good.
Have killers in front of goal. But
the movement, they're all the three in the middle. The Nonto, Brendan Aronson, and Cristiano Somerville. Those are all U22s. Like those kids have no fear. They are direct. They cause trouble. They have a battle attitude, and like they'll take a risk, and sometimes it'll pay off. You know what I mean? So look, that Leeds team.
Koch, Cooper, Christensen, Struve.
Christensen is
all these defenders, shambolic defenders,
and they were up 3-2.
Defending.
They were up 3-2, and they blew a goal lead in like 5 minutes. Look, Leeds are one of the most entertaining teams in the division. But as a Leeds fan, can you imagine their average heart rate per match? It's probably like, bro, I can't imagine that shit. That shit is seriously just up, down, up, down, up, down. Bro, you probably have people in Leeds getting fucking heart attacks watching that team. Seriously.
It's shocking, man.
Marsh, man. There's stuff that Marsh needs to improve on as well.
No. He needs to go into that transfer market. See, because we need teams like Leeds to be taking points away from people like Manchester City. We need them to legitimately to take points away from these guys so that they can create spaces for the teams that these guys have already doomed not to win the league this season or not to compete in any way.
Yeah.
We need teams like Leeds to be up there. Okay, you know what? I want to start closing this stream, man. So what do you really think, man? Where do you see Newcastle this season, man? I know we'll talk about this on Monday at full stretch, but man, what do you see you guys doing this season?
I see 4th place. 4th place. I think that's where we'll end up.
So you mean you don't see you guys challenging for this title?
Oh, I never said how many points. I never said how many points.
I see you guys challenging, man. I see you guys challenging, man.
I think we're good. It's possible.
Man, see what you guys did to Chelsea today, man.
It was
man. It was shocking.
If we strengthen appropriately in January, so here's the thing. If we're going to talk about, you know how I said with Arsenal, for you guys to be truly title challengers, in my opinion, because of the lack of squad depth, you need to do stuff in January. I think our squad in January, Newcastle, at current, could get top 4. But if we want to be in a serious discussion for a title challenger, we will need to replace the likes of Longstaff, Jacob Murphy, and whatnot with some superstars. And if we get
John Shelvey also play in the middle of the park.
Exactly, but that's the depth. That's the depth part of it. That's the depth part of it. That's the depth part of it. Exactly. Because that's the whole point of squad depth. If Shelvey gets injured, who replaces him? Longstaff. Well, that can't be the case if you want to be a title challenger. If you want to be a title challenger, you need to have a different guy instead of Longstaff in there as the backup to Shelvey or vice versa. Longstaff cannot be a part of a title challenging squad where he plays every other game. No, you need to upgrade. You need to upgrade. Sure. And you need to upgrade on Jacob Murphy so that Jacob Murphy only plays if 2 guys are injured in front of him. So I'll entertain the title race thing if we can significantly strengthen in January. But I think we'll get top 4. I think we'll get top 4 because we don't have European football.
Hey, guys. I want you guys to welcome our new member. See, man, it's a long time coming, man. Our new member, Mr. B for life. Mr. B. Big ups to you, man. Thanks for becoming a new member of my channel. You know what? Before I met this Mr. B, I was watching him. I've been seeing him in some streams, and the way he talks about football, I just like it, man. He's a friendly guy. He doesn't like, I don't want to put it this way. He's not a supporter of Arsenal. He's not a supporter of Manchester United. He loves Brentford. That's his club. That's why you see their B together. Is a legitimate Brentford fan. But one thing I love about him is that when he talks football, he's not like this tribalist, like sense. Chelsea Dan.
Makes sense.
Exactly. It makes sense. Perfect sense. The way he analyzes football, I just said, man, I want to know who this guy is. I added him on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that, he plays some certain type of FIFA games or whatever. So I follow him. Sometimes I just go there to watch some of his stuff and give him some likes down there on his YouTube channel. I just like the way he talks football. And then he started coming to my show, and I was just very happy to have his presence here. So Mr. B for life, thanks for becoming a member of this channel, man. Big ups to you. Shout out. Poo. You're welcome to the family, Mr. B for life. Thank you very much for that membership. Yeah, you were saying something, my brother.
What was I saying? I was talking about the Newcastle potential title challenge. I'll entertain that discussion, just like with Arsenal, because I want to be consistent. We don't have the squad to be title challengers, both of us. But if we make significant upgrades in January, then I'll really say, damn, we got a chance.
Got a chance.
100%. Yeah. No, that's how I feel. I feel
where do you see you guys staying this season? That's the most important thing. Like, see, if you say fourth, you're just being conservative.
That's not being conservative.
Do you really think that Newcastle can push with what you have right now? Do you think you can push at least for a? See, I'm not saying you're going to win the title, but do you think you can have a push this season for that title, man?
Absolutely. I could see a scenario where maybe we lose in the first FA Cup game, and maybe I'll lose in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup, and therefore we only have Premier League games until now in the end of the season or whatever. I could see us being within 5 points of the title winners. I could see that. Yeah. But I think if we upgraded in January, that's when those 5 points might turn into 4 or 3
right?
or 2 or 1, or we win by 2. You never know. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Players get you points. The better players you have, the more totally match winners, the more quality you add, that means that you are buying points, essentially. You are taking a risk on someone that this person will win me points. Whether it's a defensive player, whether it's a defensive player clearing the ball off the line to save to get a draw or to preserve a win, or if it's a last-minute winner because of some quality from something that Jacob Murphy can't offer, but a Moussa Diaby at Bayer Leverkusen or Dango Awatara at Lorient can offer.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. B for life says here, he says noodles with a double today. Who knew? Of course, man. Whether it's noodles, whether it's macaroni, broth, man, we just needed those goals today. Welcome to the Premiership, Nathan Jones. And here again, our newest member, Mr. B for life. He says Liverpool OAPFC. See here. Which other match today was an outstanding one? See, Nottingham Forest winning against Crystal Palace. Did that shock you in any way?
Not really, because honestly, Forest. Really? No, because No, because honestly, Forest's recent home record in all competition, bro, they beat Spurs in midweek and they beat Liverpool.
Man, it's true, man. It's true.
Let's look at the recent home games. They beat Spurs 2-0. They beat Crystal Palace today 1-0.
They put Liverpool to the sword.
2-2 draw with Brentford and a 1-0. They beat.
I think they beat Liverpool too.
They also drew at Aston Villa. The last time Nottingham Forest have lost at home was September the 16th, 3-2 versus Fulham. Ooh, they're unbeaten at home since September 16th. So they're actually a decent home side.
But wait. See, do you think Nottingham Forest is going to pull through from this relegation?
Yeah, I think they'll survive
at the end. Because see, when a team is legitimately winning at home or posing problems for this team at home, it shows they have the home support. It shows that they can grind out wins at home. Look at the people they've put to the sword down there at home. It's big teams. Once they can be able to see, it's just a mental thing that I think is wrong with Nottingham Forest. If they can be able to work on their mentality, understand that they're a team that can actually genuinely cause problems for this, for these Premiership teams, they'll begin to churn out those wins. Do you legitimately see them getting out of that relegation?
Yeah, I think they'll survive. I do think they'll survive because, like I said, bro, they are starting to build some momentum. They are. Those that win against Spurs midweek, beating Liverpool 1-0 at home. They beat Palace 1-0 at home. They're now 18th. They are only a point behind Everton, point behind West Ham, 2 behind Leeds and Aston Villa, and 3 behind Bournemouth. So this is not mission impossible for Nottingham Forest. And I think Steve Cooper's a very good manager, and I think they'll figure it out. I think Wolves, unfortunately, are doomed. Lopetegui's got a lot of work.
But again, they've brought in a new coach, Lopetegui. Lopetegui is a very, very...
He's a good manager.
He's a good manager. He has a pedigree. He's managed top clubs
Sevilla.
before. Of course, he's managed big top clubs. I think Real Madrid at a point, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's Real Madrid manager. If you can get a former Real Madrid manager at Wolves,
Real Madrid manager is a top manager. So bringing that kind of manager to come and mop up what
got a lot of work.
The relics of the bomb right now that are Wolves and that were concerned to a loss today at home in the Molineux in front of their home fans today. Lopetegui was being shown around and paraded in the Molineux today. So,
by the way,
do you think it's going to have any effect in that team when it comes back during Christmas? Do you really see Lopetegui having any effect?
I'm not. I think it is one of those instances where the squad that Wolves have, you would think that they are good enough to survive, but I think it might be one of those times that they do go down, where a team looks too good on paper to go down, but they do, unfortunately. And I also just wanted to say something about Nottingham Forest that's interesting. Their next home game in the Premier League, it's against Chelsea. That could be a Chelsea home win. So that could be another Forest home win, a 1-0. I could see them doing it.
Man, it's possible, man. It's possible, man. At home, Nottingham Forest, they're deadly there, man. Okay, see, where do you see Arsenal in this conversation? Man, it's 5 points. Arsenal had to do a job today after Brentford have given us a favor and done us a favor today. Our new channel member today, Mr. B for Life, you guys did it for us. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I have to thank you on different fronts. But see, Brentford did it for us today. And Arsenal, 5 points ahead. Newcastle leading that chase. Do you think that Arsenal is up for that league title?
Yeah, 100%.
Are you one of the washed masses? Are you one of the washed or on the washed mass? Which one are you? Do you believe?
No, bro, Tony. I'll say it again.
Believe?
Oh no,
Do you believe?
They are in a title race, but they do need signings in January.
See, I totally agree
I'm
because
giving
I'm
you guys a
inclined.
chance, but there is something that I think needs to happen. I think your
Something
chances of
needs to happen.
challenging,
Yeah.
I think your chances of challenging for title drop dramatically if you don't sign some quality players for that squad. That's just my opinion. Because we've seen what your backups can do in certain competitions. They're just not good enough. And if an injury happens to Jesus, you have Nketiah up front.
Yeah.
And is that a huge drop off? That is worth.
It's that huge.
Yes,
That's the problem.
it's
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah, it's true.
Very significant.
We do need transfers to come up during that January window. It's a big must, Steve. Okay, everyone that joined us today, thank you very much, man. Thank you. You know, it's only good that we did this show today. You know, not just to mock these teams up, but to just talk about the game. I know it's late, but for you guys to just open your eyes and just be here with us, thanks, man. I really do appreciate Mr. B for life. Thanks, man, for coming to the show today. Thanks for becoming a new member of my show. And I promise to always keep doing the good work. Steve, as you know, would always be here. Is my friend. So, we're going to be battling side by side. And we're also going to be growing his channel too. So you guys, please, when he gives a shout out for his channel, go and swam his channel and support him. Boxai Shaku, thank you very much. Please go and support Steve on his channel. He's a Newcastle fan, but he likes football, so he supports lots of teams. And he's a football. See, this guy you're seeing here is a football wrecking ball. He knows everything about football. He's that good. Go join his channel. Go be part of his revolution. So thank you everyone that joined on this show. All my members that finance and help me to keep standing in this channel. Thank you very much. BX Gunner, Mr. B for life, Amy Baba, Anthony Herbert, Alfie Brindle, all these guys. Thank you very much for showing up. Andrew Bell, thanks for being friends with me and with Steve too, and of course this community. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, and welcome to the show, man. The Other Time podcast, all these guys here, man. You guys are just too much for me to start naming, man. Craig AFC, thank you, man. Gunneresh. Thank you very much for what you dropped for me today. God bless you. So, see ya, Steve. Shout out your channel before I let you go, because I know you have to rest up before you go to work.
Yeah, no. You can find me on Strasbourg Steve. That's my YouTube channel, Strasbourg Steve, and then Newcastle Fans TV. So yeah, it's really about it, man.
Yeah, man. And of course, me and you, we have to be here on Monday. The last time you were not here, people were where is Steve? Where is Steve? Where is Steve? They already love you here,
my brother. Through everything.
So on Monday, we have to come here, and give the people a show. Boxai Shaku in the last comment says here, I'm not sure Frank has what it takes to move Everton away from relegation this season. See, do you want to touch on that? Because we didn't touch on the Everton game. For those of you who are just listening, Everton lost the game to Bournemouth today.
I knew that they'd lose that. I knew it.
Jesus Christ. It was
Bournemouth looked good and Everton were horrible. It's as simple as that. No chance creation from Everton. Onana, the poor kid Onana, he's such a wonderful talent. He had to do everything in that midfield. Everything. Carrying the ball, trying to get stuff forward, but Bournemouth just wanted the game more. There was
more hunger in their corner, right?
And Bournemouth, and honestly, if Lampard, and I guess he will be keeping his job, I haven't heard he's gotten sacked yet. Think about like this: they played in the Carabao Cup at Dean Court. They've played. It's Bournemouth Everton. They've played on a Tuesday and a Saturday. The aggregate score 7-1 Bournemouth. And you somehow keep your job.
It's shocking, man.
It shows you
why Lampard is
a very good man.
I'm shocked how Lampard is still in that job. it's a
It's
shocker.
because they
I was
probably
thinking that.
don't have the money to afford to sack him. That's probably
Oh
it,
my
because
God,
they were in financial fair play trouble. I don't know.
trouble. It's a
Everton are
shocker.
in real trouble.
How
I
he
see
still
them
keeps
battling
that job.
relegation again.
It's beyond my imagination.
Bournemouth will
He should
finish
have been
above them.
sacked.
Nottingham
Lampard should
Forest
have
will
been
finish
sacked
above
last
them.
season
Mm.
for the display that Everton had last season, battling relegation. It's a shame that a big club, a
It's a
scousing club
horribly
like
run
that,
club.
should
It's a
be
horribly
should be
run club. Bad
battling
recruitment.
relegation. And this season again, Lampard is destroying that club and taking it downhill with him and his coaching
He's
skills.
just too
It's
rigid. He's too
horrible.
rigid in his tactics approach. He doesn't adjust in game. He has some goodwill with the fans, but I think he thinks that, oh, that's all I need, and then I can turn up and down.
Forget these fans. If they're not seeing these wins, these fans will turn on you
Oh,
quick.
they will soon. They
Oh,
will.
they will, bro.
I'm sorry.
Forget,
I bet they already have. To be honest,
bro.
I've
They
been
will.
I've been checking out the Chelsea Civil War, but I bet the Everton one is pretty entertaining too.
Oh, bro, it's coming, man. The storm is coming.
If it's
These
not already
fans, yeah,
started.
all these fans, they have no loyalty. They have no loyalty. Immediately when these coaches start missing first 2, 3, 4, 5 games, it's all out the window. There is no loyalty. They would abuse, they would curse when and you know what? I think it's a generational thing. If you
No,
check,
it is. It's social media
it,
bullshit. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's a generational thing. 10 years ago, even Arsenal, were losing games everywhere and on all grounds, everywhere, being beaten and destroyed in Bayern Munich, 10 goals to nothing, 10 goals to one,
10-2.
being di-
Yeah.
10-2, being disgraced by Manchester United, at Old Trafford, that famous
8-1.
beating, 8-1, that Rooney totally destroyed us
Yeah.
down there. After all those beatings, of course, the fan base turned on Arsene Wenger. Even before that time, they've already written him off and turned on him badly.
Yeah.
So there is no, forget this thing about loyalty. There is no loyalty in this fan base right now, and this tech generation, man, just throw it to the bean, man. These guys have no loyalty. If you're not winning,
Mhm.
they bean you immediately. They don't care the kind of manager that you are. The loyalty is just like a sack of
Mhm.
potatoes. Once it
Yeah.
falls into that water, it boils and you can
Yeah.
mash it. So that's just fan base right now. If you're
Yeah.
not winning, I'm sorry, man. You're out of the football club. To them, they don't care.
A lot of money, bro. You always say it. If you get in the way of people's money nowadays,
It's cutthroat, man. It's all
true.
about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Mr. B says something here. He says, yeah, have to give props to our defense today. We were totally solid. Couldn't be but see, that Brentford back line, man. Man, you know what? They are I give them the defense of the week. You know what, Stephen?
They were
I think
heroic.
me and you have to come up with something because me and Ryan have this thing that we always do. Uh, uh, we have this banter club of the week. That's for the club that completely has a horrible show during the week. But me and you have to have something different. Maybe the most shambolic defense of the week. We'll have something like that, but we have to start it up on
Oh, yeah,
Monday. So we'll talk about the
we'll think
name
of
we
something.
should give to something like that.
We'll
But
think of something.
man, the defense of Brentford this week, man. What do you say?
Bro, they were immaculate. They were
Jesus
immaculate.
Christ.
Yeah.
It's like they were
Brave
drunk. They were
defending.
drunk
Throw
with
their
holy
bodies
water.
on the line. Disciplined. It was brilliant.
That
Absolutely brilliant.
brilliant, man, to defend against Manchester
Oh
City.
yeah. They weren't scared.
They weren't scared, head to head. They went with these guys toe to toe. It's big, man. Brentford, big ups to you guys.
Yeah.
Mr. B for Life says, I think Wolves could go down. I also think so too. Wolves, they're up for
Definitely
the chop.
could.
But again, Lopotogu coming might change things, so I don't know. But let's see. Me and Big Steve will be on top of that. Join us on Monday
Yeah.
as we come back for a rematch of touching all these things in depthly on our 1 hour 30 minute show, Gooners and Mags on
Yeah.
Monday. I think it should be around 7 to 8 p.m. or 7 to 8:30 p.m. So join us on Monday. Me and Steve, my big brother, we'll be chopping it down here together. So
Yeah.
have you shouted out your channel?
Yes, I did. Yeah, Strasbourg Steve and a Newcastle Fans TV. That's really about it.
Yeah, please, guys, those of you who are going to watch this later, please go join Steve, man, in his channel. Help him out and grow his channel. He's a big footballing guy, man. His head is all about football and sports. It's all
Yep.
over his head. That's what he thinks
100%.
about. That's how he rolls. And you can also catch me here on Monday with him as me and him chop down the Premiership, the Premiership roundup with Gunners and Mags on Monday. And of
Yeah.
course, catch me and Ron Maguire on Tuesday with the Ron and Cloud show. It's going to be a big one. And of course, Deji Sports might be coming on Thursday, just before we round up for the World Cup period. So thank you very much. And join us on Monday. Big ups to everyone. Thanks,
There you go.
everyone
Take
that
care.
joined us today and our new members and people who gifted
Yeah,
us
yeah.
stuff today. Thanks. Big ups.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.